just finished today is my latest sculpture, Saint Bahkita, and this has been a long journey for me working on this piece. In a sense, it started with my first project, Let the Oppressed Go Free. I was requested by the Vatican to do a sculpture that brought attention to human trafficking. And at the time, I didn't even know what human trafficking was. I went down a rabbit hole of horror, in a sense, studying and researching what human trafficking was. It was one of the most challenging sculpture projects that I ever did because it was so dark. When I finished that piece, I promised myself that I would not put my tools down on the theme of human trafficking. I felt it was my promise, in a sense, to create more sculptures that throw light on this very dark subject. And so this is a very similar sculpture to the large 20-foot Let the Oppressed Go Free. I feel that the problem with that huge piece was, unfortunately, it was so huge that it was not very flexible in the different locations that it could be installed. But my hope is to have sculptures of human trafficking installed in many, many places. The sculpture showcases Saint Bahkita opening up the underground and letting the oppressed, the modern-day slaves, free. Oftentimes, one thinks of a teenage woman as the only type being trafficked. But here in this sculpture, I do have both males and females. I have slave laborers, I have sex trafficked, and I also have little children. And what I hope this sculpture will do is stop people and bring awareness that underneath our society, there's a layer of slaves today existing. When I first created the Let the Oppressed Go Free sculpture, in the evening, I would do more and more research on human trafficking, and I came across an amazing quotation from Pope Francis. He stated that human trafficking will always exist if it's kept underground. And here in this sculpture, the underground is being opened up, and the trafficked are being released. Initially, I created this sculpture thinking I wouldn't have Saint Bahkita there, just the victims of human trafficking coming free in a sense. But it just seemed a little bit, I think, too sad. And Saint Bahkita there within the piece brings hope to the whole subject matter. Saint Bahkita was a slave in a previous century, and now she is, in a sense, the Vatican's ambassador to those people that are helping the human traffic today. So she, in a sense, is a hero, and there she is lifting up the underground and helping the oppressed, the modern slaves, go free. I love the human connection there. She is holding the hand and helping and in a sense, lifting one of the human trafficked out from this underground. I think it's a very beautiful symbolic gesture there. When I created the different faces, I actually used real photos of real people, and that was very important to me. I want this to be as real as possible because it's a real issue today. And so the expressions are desperate, the horror is real. But there is hope. There is Saint Bahkita who is helping, and hopefully she will become a role model for other people to help. And like Pope Francis said, the first thing we have to do is become aware. And that's how this sculpture can become an amazing tool. When this sculpture is installed, the message, the awareness will also be installed. And that's the power that I think this sculpture will bring.